Mick Jagger is 83 years old. I mean, from a medical standpoint, he should really be taking it easy, right?
Yeah, you would think so.
But instead, he's, dropping new albums, outdancing people a quarter of his age in clubs, and just basically forcing scientists to rethink the absolute limits of human stamina.
It's incredible to watch.
It really is. So welcome to this deep dive. Today, we're looking at the enduring, almost unnatural power of 1970s rock. We've got a really fascinating stack of sources for you today.
We do.
We're looking at an academic paper from Griffith University on youth audiences, alongside some recent medical and entertainment reports tracking Jagger's, his viral vitality.
Right. And our mission today is to figure out why a generation of digital natives remains just completely obsessed with the bygone analog era and, how the original architects of that era are actively refusing to fade into history.
It's wild because if you look at the top streaming charts today, you might actually be surprised to see Gen Z driving up the numbers for bands like Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd.
Oh, absolutely. They're dominating.
And they're not just passively listening, right? They're engaging with this music as if it's like heritage art. There are even tribute bands performing classic 1970s albums live, note for note, exactly the way a symphony orchestra performs Mozart.
Yeah, it's fascinating. The researchers at Griffith University actually define this phenomenon as received nostalgia.
Received nostalgia.
Yeah. What's really driving it is this craving for analog authenticity. Young people are adopting the 1970s as this sort of golden age of optimism, mainly to escape modern societal anxieties.
So it's like an escape tactic.
Exactly. Compared to the much darker, more fatalistic tones of contemporary rock, the 70s represent a perceived cultural purity for them.
Okay, but I have to challenge that concept a bit, though. Is it really nostalgia if you weren't even born yet?
That's a fair point.
To me, it feels more like being homesick for a fictional country. Like you're longing for a pristine, curated version of a decade that probably never actually existed in the way you think it did.
I completely agree. And because they don't have the messy, real-world context of the 1970s, the economic crises, the political turmoil. Right, the gas shortages, all that. Exactly. These younger fans are free to elevate the music into high art. They've essentially transformed it into a timeless classical canon.
But see, this classical canon comparison breaks down a bit when you look at the artists themselves. Beethoven isn't currently dropping new tracks and going clubbing, right?
Right.
But Mick Jagger is.
He really is. It's unbelievable.
At 83, he recently went viral for just energetically dancing in a club to Maroon 5's Moves Like Jagger. Plus, the Rolling Stones are releasing a brand new 2026 album, Foreign Tongues, featuring Paul McCartney and recordings from the late Charlie Watts.
Which just proves the music isn't a museum artifact to them. They utterly refuse to become a static nostalgia act. They are still actively participating in and shaping modern culture.
He's treating his body like a vintage guitar. You don't preserve a legendary instrument by locking it in a climate-controlled case. You have to aggressively play it and tune it every single day to keep it resonant.
That is a great analogy, which brings us to the physical reality of actually doing that.
Right. So if he's actively rejecting modern biohacking trends, he notoriously hates ice baths and cold plunges.
Yeah, he refuses to do.
So he must be relying on something deeply foundational to survive these massive global tours. What's the secret?
Well, medical experts point to a very specific concept, which is the specificity of neuromuscular training.
Neuromuscular training.
Yeah, so he isn't just trying to stay in shape, right? He is meticulously conditioning his body to preserve the exact physical mechanics required for a rock performance. And that effectively halts natural physical decay.
Oh, wow. That explains the unique mix in his routine. Because he isn't just lifting weights. He blends high-intensity, tennis-like interval training to simulate his explosive sprints across the stage.
Right, and he pairs that with classical ballet and yoga.
Ballet? Wait,
Yeah.
really?
Yes, and the ballet isn't just for flexibility, It actively targets the microstabilizer muscles in the ankles and knees.
Which keeps him on his feet.
Exactly. That is precisely what prevents the catastrophic falls that usually bench people in their 80s. Combine that physical regimen with the fact that he made a major lifestyle shift by quitting heavy drinking and drugs around age 40, and you have a masterclass in biomechanical preservation.
It's just fascinating. There's no magic pill or trendy hack. It's literally just decades of specific physical grit, perfectly matched with the cultural elevation of his life's work.
Yeah, that's spot on.
I mean, it's why 70s rock is still thriving, not just in the history books, but on the charts and on the stage.
It really is the ultimate collision of enduring art and stubbornly enduring artists.
Absolutely. Which leaves us with a fun final thought for you to mull over. If 1970s rock albums are already being treated as formal, note-for-note classical recitals today, will audiences centuries from now sit in grand concert halls wearing formal attire, politely watching a symphony orchestra perform moves like Jagger?